Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Rahmi Murni Hanifah from class MN 20T. Today, I will discuss and explain about case study analysis of innovation in the company PT Goto, Gojek, Tokopedia, Tbk. Slide 1. Profile in the company Gojek. Gojek is one of the fastest growing and most visible tech startup in Indonesia. This career transportation and shopping service legitimates the previously informal ojek by giving its drivers green uniforms and health, and also by organizing them through a mobile application that allows users to book drivers. And next, purpose assignment objective. 1. Identify user needs that drive innovation and analyze the contributions of stakeholders such as customers, business partners, and regulators, and identify the stage at which ideas are developed, tested, and improved, and analyze the risks in each innovation cycle. And the last, evaluate the effectiveness of prototypes and feedback loops from users. I will conduct a discussion related to case study by analyzing using the spiral of innovation. The innovation spiral can refer to the spiral model, which is an approach to developing software or engineering companies that create innovative ideas. So, an innovation spiral is like a fun way to develop new ideas, especially in the software or engineering world. Image you're on a spiral where each round is a new step in the development process. In each round, you can try new things, test ideas, and see what works or doesn't work. For example, you start with an initial idea, build a prototype, test it, and get feedback. After that, you can refine and develop the idea again in the next round. So instead of jumping straight to the final result, you can continue to adapt and innovative over time. This makes the process more flexible and allows you to find better solutions. Next, the first is market needs. Market needs that are driving innovation include easy access to transport service, good delivery, and digital payments. Users want fast, efficient, and affordable solutions, as well as reliable service in emergency situations or urgent needs. So, the needs of today's market make many innovations emerge, especially in the field of transportation, food delivery, and digital payment. People want everything to be fast and easy. For example, they want to be able to order an online motorbike taxi with one click, have their goods delivered in a short time, and make payment without any hassle. also in emergency situation or when they need something fresh. They need a service they can rely on. In essence, everyone wants a solution that is efficient, affordable, and reliable at any time. Hence, many companies are competing to create innovation to fulfill this need. Next, the second is multi-stakeholder collaboration. Point 1, customer provide direct feedback on user experience. So, dalam dunia Gojek ada banyak pemangku kepentingan yang punya peran penting. Nah, yang pertama itu ada pelanggan. Nah, pelanggan or customer, pelanggan itu kayak suara utama ya. Suara utama gitu. Mereka itu yang kasih kembali tentang pengalaman mereka yang sangat berguna bagi company Gojek in mengembangkan produk baru gitu. Nah, yang ke point number 2, business partners. They contribute in providing service that are integrated with the Gojek platform. Nah, terus ada mitra bisnis, nah seperti restoran atau toko gitu. Nah, mereka itu membantu Gojek dengan menyediakan layanan yang terintegrasi, jadi semua bisa berjalan lancar dan saling menguntungkan gitu. Nah, yang point number 3, regulators, ensuring that innovation comply with applicable laws and regulation. Nah, regulator itu kayak yang memastikan semua inovasi Gojek itu sudah sesuai dengan aturan yang ada belum, sudah sesuai dengan hukum belum, seperti kayak keselamatan, transportasi, dan pelindungan data penggunanya gitu. Nah, jadi semua all this collaboration makes Gojek able to quickly adapt. Jadi semua kolaborasi ini tuh bisa bikin Gojek itu cepat beradaptasi dengan to change market needs, kebutuhan pasarnya gitu. So all parties support, jadi semua pihak saling mendukung and creates a better ecosystem, juga menciptakan ekosistem yang lebih baik gitu. Next, the third, innovation cycle assessment. So there are several identify stage ya. Point 1 itu idea development, gathering ideas from various sources, including user feedback and analysis of market needs, market trends, including user feedback and analysis of market trends. Now, firstly, idea development. Here the team gathers ideas from many sources, such as user feedback and analysis of market trends. Essentially, they find out what people need and want. Nah, next point 2 itu testing, conducting small scale trials of new product or features to gather data and feedback. After that, it's on to the testing stage. Here they try out new product or features on a small scale. The goal is to gather data and feedback from users so they can know whether the idea is really sustainable or not. Next, point number 3, improvement. based on test results make improvement and adjustment before widespread launch. There is the improvement stage based on the result from testing. The team will make improvement and adjustment before the product is launched widely. This is important so that the product launched is really ready and as expected. And next, point last, launch. Introducing the new product or feature to the market with the right marketing strategy. Finally, there is the launch stage. Here, the new product or feature is introduced to the market with the right marketing strategy so that people know about it and are interested in trying it. So, all of these stages are interconnected to ensure that the product is high quality and fit for purpose. The fourth is right innovation. The fourth is right innovation. So, there are several risks to consider in product development. Point 1, technology risks. System or application failure that could disrupt service. Now, firstly, technology rise. This can happen if the system or application fails, which can disrupt the service. Just imagine if the application suddenly crashes, it will definitely make user annoyed. And next, market risks. Now, product may to be accepted by user, which can lead to financial losses. This happens when a new product that is launched is not well received by user. If that happens, the company could suffer a high financial loss. If that happens, the company could suffer a huge financial loss. Point 3, regulatory risks. Change in government policies that may affect operation. Then we have regulatory risks. This relates to change in government policies that can affect the way the company operates. For example, if there are new rules that make the process more complicated, it could be a problem. Point last, reputational risks. Reputational risks. Errors in service may damage the company's image in the eyes of the public. Finally, there is reputational risks. Mistakes in service, such as delays or poor service, can damage a company's image in the eyes of the public. And if the reputation is already compromised, it can be difficult to regain customers' trust. So it's important to manage all these risks well. So it's really important to do a thorough risk analysis. This means that we need to really understand all the potential problems that could arise, as we discussed earlier. After that, we also need to have a mitigation plan for each identified risk. and this mitigation plan is the step that will be taken to reduce the impact of the risks. For example, if there is a technology risk, we can prepare a backup system or a ready IT team. That way, we can be better prepared for any problems that may occur and keep things running smoothly. The point is good analyze and planning. We can minimize risks and keep our business safe. The 5 product and service iteration. So, to evaluate how effective our prototype is, there are a few steps we can take. Point 1. Using A or B testing methods to compare products. Firstly, we can use the A or B testing method. This means that we create two different versions of the product and see which one is more favorable or more effective in the eyes of users. This way, we can know which one is more suitable before launching the final version. Point 2. Collect feedback from users continuously. It is also important to collect feedback from users on an ongoing basis. We need to listen to their experience and see what they like or dislike. This helps us to make the necessary adjustment to make the product better. And point the last, establish effective communication channel with users. Now, finally, we must build a feedback loop. This means that we need to have effective communication channel with our users, so that they can easily provide feedback. This way, we can ensure that all their inputs are integrated into the product development process. So, all these steps help us to continuously improve our product and fulfill our users' needs. And conclusion, this conclusion, the advantage in disadvantage. Ada kelebihan, ada kelemahan. Nah, the advantage of the spiral innovation approach are flexibility and the ability to adapt quickly to changing market needs. So, in conclusion, the spiral innovation approach has many advantages, especially in terms of flexibility and the ability to quickly adapt to changing market needs. This allows companies to continue to innovate and fulfill user expectations. Disadvantage or kelemahan, the disadvantage lies in the high potential risks and the needs for sufficient research to iterate continuously. But on the other hand, there are also disadvantages that need to be considered. One of them is the potential for high risks, and each iteration can bring new challenge. In addition, this approach also require requires sufficient research to be able to iterate continuously. However, if the company can manage risks well and involve all stakeholders in the innovation process, the potential for implementing this innovation can be huge. So, the key is the balance between rapid innovation and effective risk management. Thank you, and I apologize if there are any mistakes or errors in explaining because I am still in the learning stage. Bye. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.